common complaint I hear from South Asian professionals is that they feel exploited at work. They work endlessly, they give a lot, they take on more, and even then they feel people are taking advantage of them. And when that happens, they feel demotivated, even though they love what they do. Because of feeling exploited, because of feeling undervalued, they lose motivation for going to work every single day. Today, I'm going to dive into why that happens, why a lot of people feel exploited at work, and what they can do so that they can feel valued and really establish themselves as an important team member, important leader in the workplace. For those who do not know me, I am Dr. Mrinalini Garg, and I help South Asian professionals, both men and women, rise in their career by helping them overcome their fear of speaking up, establishing an executive presence, and commanding the room. So let's dive into this very important topic because this is a slow poison. Let me make sure this is focused well here. Oh, what just happened? Okay, all right. This is good. Okay, so this is such an underrated problem. This happens on a daily basis, and because people are not able to pinpoint why they are losing interest in work, why they are losing motivation, they busy themselves in distracting themselves by watching reels and doing things that add no value to their life or their career. So let's understand why people feel exploited at work. So number one, and if you are watching, if you're following my videos, you probably know that a lot of the problems that are in the workplace are created by us. And if you are someone who does not want to take responsibility for your actions, for the results that you're getting, then you might as well scroll and watch something else, because this is not for you. This is for those who know that they have it in them and they need some help and they want to change something internally so that they can finally be seen as the leader that they know they are deep in their heart. Okay, so the number one reason why people feel exploited in the workplace is because they lack discernment. What is discernment? You are unable to grasp, to really understand what exactly are the intentions, what exactly is going on in the workplace. Who are the people who really support you? Who are the people who are actually not invested in you? In fact, they want to take advantage of you. So here is what happens. Most South Asian professionals, and it is truly for everyone. It would be so much less stress for me if I could take people for their face value. But the world that we live in, we cannot go by face value, unfortunately. That is why we need to understand if the person in front of us is our person or that person is just using us. It is really important. And also, the fact is that none of us, right? Nobody on this planet takes a job with the intention that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Because we are designed to be ambitious. This is why we love sports. This is why we love games. This is why we always want to see how I can do at the next level. If we start running at a certain speed, we want to see, well, how much faster I can run. If I am able to lift a weight, we want to see how much heavier weight we can lift. If we are doing a yoga posture, you want to see how longer you can hold in that. So by design, we are ambitious. So we do not take the job to stay in that same position for the rest of our life. So we do want to grow in our career. That's a given. So there is no shame, there's no guilt in saying that I'm ambitious and yes, I want to go to that next level, because it's just natural. We are human beings. Okay. So the very first thing, face value. So let me give you an example. Sometimes some colleagues come to us and they ask us about a certain skill that we have. and they ask us, hey, I have this problem. Can you teach me how I can do this? It could be related to Excel formula. It could be, some troubleshooting that you're doing in the coding. It could be, a scientific concept that you're trying to explain them, something that you're trying to teach them. Now, I am about giving. I love giving. This is what I do on my videos, right? I am giving. A lot of you could just use what I'm teaching here and transform your career. And some will want to come and learn from me how to apply all of this. So I am a giver. I love giving. We all love giving, right? However, we have limited time on this planet. We have limited time in the workplace because we have work as well as life. So if somebody comes to me and I'm great at what I do, and if I leave everything else that I want to do and I help this person, what is going to happen? My workload is increasing because if I am spending an hour explaining a concept to this person, I will have to work an extra hour at the end of the day. So it's very important to understand if this person is really going to be on our side when we need their help. Is this person going to give me the credit for teaching what I'm teaching? Is this person going to give me the visibility that I need because I spent an hour teaching this person? What commonly happens in the workplace is that this person comes to you, they learn everything from you, and then they go make a presentation. They don't even talk about who they learned it from, and they get the credit, they get the applause, and they get promoted. We all know that. We have lived this story. So it is not that person's mistake. It's our fault that we are not doing the due diligence on really understanding what this person's intention is. So, so what we are doing here is we are putting ourselves last, right? We are not managing our time correctly. And we don't know what our priorities are. And let me tell you what I mean by that. As immigrants, we feel that we don't belong. We feel that we don't fit in. We feel that we want to be liked by others. We feel we don't want to ruffle any feathers because we want to be in the good books of other people. We don't want any negative repercussions. So, what do? If someone comes to us and asks us something, we just feel like, oh, yeah, I want this person to like me. I want to make sure that I make a good impression, and maybe that person will become my friend, and we'll be great colleagues, and maybe this person will support me when I need their help. It's very human, it's very human to feel that way. I personally feel that we came on this planet to help each other, honestly, right? uh, I mean, nobody has figured out life, but that's the philosophical part. I don't want to go there. Let's stick to this. So in the because it is our need to be liked, we give a lot of us away, lot of our part away. We help people, even those who might actually push a dagger in our back when we turn around. So you want to really think about, how do I handle this situation? If someone comes to me, is it really worth it to spend all this time to teach someone? And I'll give you an example. I had a colleague, and I am great at facilitation. This is one of the things which I teach my clients also, because meetings are your platform to showcase your leadership skills. So if you know how to command meetings, you are golden. So I'm great at facilitating meetings. And this colleague, she was in one of the meetings that I was facilitating. She came to me and she said, hey, Mrinalini, can you teach me? And I was very new to the country, and I was, yeah, why not, right? And I spent at least, like, we met multiple days for, a couple of hours. So around 8 to 10 hours, I taught her how to facilitate meetings, and she became really great at it. Now, there was a time where I needed her support, and she supported the person who was against me. So it did not help me. I wasted 10 hours of my time. 10 hours is, a little more than one work day. So I did not get anything and I felt exploited, but it's my mistake. Why did I spend those 10 hours teaching her something, not knowing what her intentions are? So here's what you should do when someone comes to you and asks you to teach something to them. First of all, we need to ask them, well, where are you stuck? Here are some resources that you can go check out. And if you have any specific questions, come to me, I can answer that. Because it is not your job to teach anyone. There are resources in the company, there are resources outside of the company that they can reach out, but you are teaching them for free, and you're giving your knowledge like a freebie, which also tells us that you are not valuing yourself, your expertise enough, and telling others that yeah, come to me anytime, I'll teach you for free. And you can see there's a lot of emotions there, because I have burnt multiple times and I learned the lesson the hard way. So when they come to you, ask them, well, where exactly are you stuck? What is your actual problem? And ask me specific questions so I can answer your questions. Even before that, you can say that, hey, you know what? I would love to help you, if you really would love to help them. But you can say that right now I'm busy. My plate is full, so I really cannot dedicate the time to teach you this. But I can meet you in a couple of weeks and come to me with specific questions and I can help you figure that out. But I cannot spend the time to teach you everything from the basics. Then the third thing you want to ask them is, so when I teach you this, and what is the purpose of, why did you come to me? When you learn from me, what's the purpose of that? How are you going to use this information? And if they say, well, I have a presentation coming up and I want to make sure that I speak to it correctly and whatnot. Okay, so can I attend that meeting? Will you make sure that you give me the credit for teaching you this? Now, this seems very confrontational, but I mean, if you don't confront, what's your preference, right? Shame, shying away from confrontation, or just giving away your time and then complaining that I don't have enough time left for me and I feel exploited. So we have to become courageous and we have to say the things so that we can put ourselves first, and to let people know that I am not here sitting free, twiddling my thumbs to teach you everything that I know. And what you know is your intellectual property. So you want to treat it like that. You want to treat your knowledge as your intellectual property, and you want to be very wise about how much you share, what you share, who you share with, how that information will be used. And when you have the clear picture of how that is going to use, then you make a decision if it's worth it to sit with them for hours and teach what you know, or just send them, hey, here are some resources that you can review. And if you have any specific questions, I can answer those questions. So having that discernment is very important. Now, let's move on to the next reason why we feel exploited at work. Well, because we can't draw boundaries, right? We don't know, nobody taught us, how to draw boundaries. Let me hold it this way. We are afraid to say no because, again, that need to be liked is stronger than anything else. It is really not important whether people like us or not, and it took me a while to learn this. What is important is that people respect us. People respect our domain of knowledge. People respect that we are a part of the team. People respect that we are a leader. That respect is more important than feeling that need to be liked. Because here's the thing, first of all, it's not going to happen. Just because you're sharing some information, they are not going to fall in love with you, they are not going to like you. And even if they liked you, there's no guarantee that they are going to help you get promoted. The most important thing is that they should respect us for the authority that we have on our knowledge, uh, on what we know. And that is going to make them realize that, wow, it would be great to have, Savita to get to that place. Let me recommend Savita to attend this board meeting that's coming up, because she's so knowledgeable and she speaks so well and she has that authority. Then we are afraid of, the next reason we don't draw boundaries is because we are afraid of authority. Again, if we look back at our childhood, we have been told that we have to listen to certain uncles, right? It's always, the men have, more authority, generally in South Asian families. I'm not saying for all, but generally men are considered the more respected and the more knowledgeable and the wiser ones. So we have been programmed to be afraid of authority. We've been told never open your mouth in front of authority figures. So as adults also we do the same. So even though if we look at the Western culture, like people right and left say no if they don't want to do anything. But we are just afraid of saying no because we have never learned how to say no to authority figures. So we hold ourselves back. And then this is the most important one. We overestimate ourselves. You overestimate yourself. We all have only 24 hours in the day. And we feel like, yeah, I will take on more, I will take on more, I will take on more, I can accomplish everything. But honestly, it's not possible. If you give 2 hours to somebody else, you are losing 2 hours for doing something that you want to do for yourself. So be realistic about how much time you have. How much can you really get done? How much can you take on? Do you really have the time to coach others when you yourself are struggling to keep your, head above water? So be realistic about what you can actually do, what you cannot do, and then you have to start saying no. And how do you say that? I would really love to help you, but right now my plate is full and I can't do that. If you have specific questions, I can answer those questions. Or, I know someone else who can help you, or these are the resources that you can access. If it's the boss, who tells you, hey, I need you to get this done, it's like, boss, I would love to, but I need your help. I have these 10 projects on my plate right now. Which one can I let go so that I can focus on this new project that you're asking me to work on? If senior leaders say, hey, I want you to work on it, again, start thinking about you, right? Your priority. Is that project going to help you get more visibility? Is that going to help you be seen as a leader? Get more information about it. What is it exactly that is required of my project? What are you trying to accomplish? What is the end goal? When I work on this project, will I get the opportunity to present? Can I be in that meeting? Can I answer questions when I'm in that meeting? How is this going to impact the metrics? So when you understand the metrics, that's something that you can add to your resume, that you can add to your interviews, when you go for interviews. The default answer should never be yes. The default answer is, I want to understand more. Let me think about it. Let me go back. Let me look at the projects that I have and let me see if I can carve out time for this. And this is something nobody teaches South Asians. Some are really great at it, but most South Asians really suffer because we lack discernment and we can't draw boundaries. So if you want to stop feeling exploited at work, start doing this. Discern the situation, discern the people who are reaching out to you, and don't be afraid to say no. Until next time.